Defeated to Fly, and this is Bold and Free. So today we're going to be talking about a day in the life of a home health nurse. So I've already been up since about 8 a.m. I'm driving to my first patient's home. Have the address and GPS. Oh, hold on, I gotta be careful. Okay, driving to my first patient's home, and I'm gonna meet another nurse there because I'm actually switching from one company to another company until I get to go back to work full time as a flight attendant. I'm gonna keep this job as PRN just because, hell, you never know what's gonna happen. I thought I was safe and secure with the flight attendant job, but then again, the pandemic hit and I had to come back to my first love, which is nursing. So like I said, now I'm just driving to the patient's home. Supposed to meet the nurse there, and start the assessment around 9:30 to 10. Well, it's like 9:21 right now. I should be pulling up in like 1 minute. All right, so we're getting ready to pull up. I hate driving on these streets where they have the cars on both sides of the road and you can barely get past them. Okay. So I'm actually pulling up. I don't know if the other nurse is here yet. And usually it's just one nurse. You're there by yourself with your patient, but since I'm switching companies and I have to learn their charting system.
You've arrived.
All right, so I'm gonna park right here. I just pulled up at the patient's home. So the first thing I do when I get to my patient's home, especially if I'm by myself. Now, before, when COVID-19 first hit, we had to be like fully everything. Masks, goggles, gloves, full PPE, the gown, booties, everything, just to make sure that we're protected and the patient protected, because you never know. And now what we do, I think it's mainly because they sort of start pushing out the vaccine, and we do our night before call to the patient or the patient family and make sure that they don't have any symptoms, they haven't been around anyone, they haven't been out of the country, you know, the general COVID-19 questionnaire. So now we can just wear a mask, and of course you're going to wear your gloves. The number one thing to help you through this pandemic, and just in general for your safety and cleanliness, is hand hygiene. Wash your hands, use your hand sanitizer. Okay, so I make sure I have my PPE. I have my little bag that I carry. This is actually a different bag because my other bag I'm using I switched out for my notary stuff. So in here, you're going to see like my stethoscope, not my stethoscope, my stethoscope is up here. This is my thermometer to check your temperature, blood pressure cuff, and I have a O2 set monitor. So, and that's the only reason that's just what I have in my bag, because like I said, this is a new company that I'm going to, and I have all of my notes, like we have to keep, with this company, I have to keep track of all my miles, myself, and my documentation. So I keep my little chart in here, and I have my forms with the address and stuff on here, and just anything I need to jot down. Because normally, if you're doing a start of care can take anywhere, depending on the patient, can take anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half of seeing the patient. And that's mainly because it's a lot of paperwork. They have to sign a bunch of things. You have to review the entire process while they're here. You have to determine what you're going to do when you come see them during the week for skilled nursing. And if they need any other specialties such as physical therapy, occupational therapy, a social worker, anything like that. So that's why those visits takes at least an hour and a half. And sometimes, well, I deal mostly with geriatric patients. So most of my patients are like 70, 80, some of them 90 years old. And they tend to move a little slower than normal. So you have to either repeat yourself, give them time to process the information. Usually before I get there, I tell them to have like their medications already prepared for me, medication list, or the medications out. I tell them that they want any family member or anyone there to be in the process with them, have them present as well. Any questions they may have, you know, just have a list of something, so when we get there we can just get the ball rolling, because it already takes a minute, at least an hour. Once you get through your start of care visit, like I think this is just a regular skilled nursing visit that we're going to do today. So normally they're like 30 minutes or less, depending on what you have to do, depending on the skill you have to do. If you have to do wound care, if you have to do cath change or anything like that, they can take a little bit of time, especially depending on the patient. You have to get them to sit where you want them to sit, to cooperate. So it just depends. A lot goes into a visit. But for the most part, they're usually 30 minutes or less. And the thing is, you want to try to document as much as you can while you're there, because you don't want to take all that work home. And with my last company, I was literally working. I felt like I actually was working 24/7. Like, I would get up and start at like 8 a.m., see patients till probably till about 5, and they had me traveling like 35 minutes away from my home, which was not in the plan. That's why I had to let them go. Okay, so then once I got home, if I saw 6 patients that day, especially for starter cares, you have to finish that starter care on that day. So I was charting from like get home at 5:36, shower, you know, freshen up, get something to eat. By 7 o'clock or whatever, I would start my charting. And if you're at home health, you know, if not any nursing, any healthcare field, you know, charting is the #1 thing. If you didn't chart it, it didn't happen. So you have to be very thorough in what you did, especially dealing with geriatric and Medicare. They want to know exactly what you did and why you're there. So I would chart from like sometimes to like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, what am I doing? I was tired, and then had to get up and do that process all over again. So that's just giving you a very, very brief overview of what a day in the life of what a home health nurse actually does. So I'm gonna come back after this visit and let you know how it went, and we'll go from there. So the other nurses arrived, and we're about to go into the patient's home to complete the assessment. All right, guys, so that visit took about an hour. I went in around 9:25 and I left out at about 10:21, 10:25. We charted some in the car, so you don't have to do all that charting once you get home. So if you have time before your next patient, you can just sit in your car, do a little charting, and then prepare to go see the next patient. So now I'm headed to my second patient of the day. Supposed to meet them around 11:30. It's like 11. I left there around 11 o'clock. So about 8 minutes past 11, I should be there in about 20 minutes. Because I'm not taking all these tolls, I'm just taking the side street. And it's about 11 miles away. So that's going to be my next stop. That visit went fairly well. It just took a long time because you're doing education and wound care, and you're dealing with the family. They usually have more questions than the actual patients. And you have to get your supplies and everything ready. Normally I try to ask my patients to keep their supplies in one central location. So when I make it to the patient house, I already know where the supplies are, where my booklet is going to be. I can walk in, go straight to the patient, grab my book, do my charting in the book, put vital signs and everything, grab my supplies, set it up next to the patient, wash your hands, sanitize your hands, put your gloves on, get started, boom. And then you're in and out and just finish the charting in your car. The most important thing is when you're doing home health, you have to document the vital signs. So you document the vital signs at least twice. You're going to document in the patient halts on their chart and document in your computer charting system. And you have to get the signature of the patient or family member before you leave, just basically as proof that you actually were at the patient's home and completed the visit. All right, so now we headed to the next visit. I'll let you know how that one goes and keep you posted. All right, guys, so now we're pulling up to the second location. What is it? 224. Okay, so it's back there. I'm gonna turn around so I can already be parked and ready towards the direction I have to drive next. So pulling up to the second location. It is now 11:28, and we discussed that we would be here between 11:30 and 12. So this is perfect. We are here on time for the visit. And this visit is basically going to be just checking vital signs, doing a lot of teaching with her diagnosis. Let's see. Making sure she's taking her medications as scheduled. And let me see. She's had a few a history of falls, and just checking up her post a diagnosis of COVID. She doesn't have corona now. She's tested negative since then. I think her diagnosis was a couple of months ago. So just basically follow up. So this visit again shouldn't take that long. It should be 30 minutes or less, in and out. We'll see how that goes, depending on how the patient reacts if they answer the door. She's staying with another family member, so we don't know. All right, so I'm gonna get ready to go in and complete this visit. I'll let you know how that goes. Also, I need to mention before I go in, I'll wipe down all my equipment again with wipes to make sure it's sanitized and clean and ready for the next patient. Should do this before. I do before and after every visit, just to be on the safe side, because you never know. And you don't want to transfer patients, germs from one patient to the next patient, going in and out of patient's home. And you just wipe down your stethoscope, anything that you use, basically. Wipe it down, make sure it's clean and sanitized. All right, so now that visit went as expected. It is 12:05 now. We went in around 11:35, 11:40. Visit was short. We did vital signs, discussed some interventions. She had a little swelling in her.
Continue on Pleasant Valley Road for 2 miles.
Had a little swelling and edema in her lower extremities. We discussed what she needs to do for that. And now we're headed to the third patient of the day. It's 12:06. It's going to take us about 15-20 minutes to get there. They're 8 miles away. So we're going to let you know how that patient goes. So we have made it to the third location for the day. It is 12:25, and we're supposed to be here between 12:30 and 1. So we're right on schedule. So I'm about to wipe down all my equipment, go in. This one should also be a quick visit. Should be mainly a teaching visit, teaching the patient about, you know, falls, energy conservation, things like that. Vital sign monitoring, make sure they don't have any edema. Sort of the same thing like the last visit. So this should go by fairly quickly. And then we head to our, we're gonna either go to the office or go see the last patient. I think the last patient might be closer to my house, so we might just go to the office because I need to pick up a new tablet. So we're gonna head to the office, then see the last patient, and then from there I will be going home. So I'll let y'all know how it goes. Also, if you have any questions about nursing in general, I have done everything from emergency room to case management to now doing home health. So if you have any questions, nursing is a great field that you can go into and have a plethora of career path that you can go down. So don't ever feel boxed into one thing. There are so many things you can do with a nursing degree. You just have to find what fits you and what you want to do. So in the comments, let me know if you ever thought about a career in nursing, and what exactly, if you have questions about what field you can go into, what specialty you should do, just let me know, and I'm pretty sure I can give you a couple of ideas. All right, so let me go wipe down my equipment, then we're going to head into the house to complete this assessment. Hi, I'm back. So it is 12:54. We just completed that assessment. That went very well. So what we're going to do now, we're going to head to the office so I can pick up a new tablet, and it's only like 5 minutes away from this address, so this should be quick. Go in, pick up the tablet. I don't know if she's gonna want to take a lunch. When it's like this for me, I just like to see all my patients, and then at the end of the day, I'll eat, or I keep little snacks in my car, but I really don't even like to eat while I'm seeing patients because I don't want to put stuff in my mouth and hands and stuff like that. But I keep some nuts and water in my car just for days like this, but I know I'm going to be hella busy, and I think I just took a wrong turn. I did. I'm going to have to make a U-turn.
Head south on Valley Road, then take a U-turn.
Alright, I just made a wrong turn. I'm going to make a U-turn right here. Once these cars go by, and go to the office for a few minutes to pick up a tablet, and then we'll head to our next patient. Alright, so I'm about to pull up at the office, and this little stop shouldn't take long. I'm pulling up at the office right now. Go in and get the tablet. Also, for me, since your patients can be pretty much anywhere, and I try to see all my patients on a schedule that's going to take me from the farthest, that's going to bring me back to home, so at the end of the day I'm not driving 30-45 minutes or something from one patient house to my home, when I can just schedule my patients.
Your destination is on the left.
To where, you know, I can start far and then I'm closer to home. And if y'all have a patient that's close to the office, if I need to pick up supplies, or if I need to drop something off, drop off notes or anything, then I just pop in at the office and then head back home, or head back out to see another patient. So I'm here, I'm gonna go in here and do this, and then I'll come back and head to the next patient. All right, so I just picked up my supplies from the office. I got my tablet, and now it is 1:15. We're headed to see the 4th patient of the day. They're actually just right up the street. So we're going to go see that patient. This should also be a regular skilled nursing visit, so it shouldn't take that long, maybe 30 minutes at the most, depending on what we have to do and what the patient needs. So I'm going to go there, wipe down my equipment, and head to the last patient of the day. Okay, so we're pulling up at the patient's home, and it is what? Now it's 1:19, so that was like maybe a 4 or 5 minute drive to get here. Oh. Still haven't eaten lunch because, like I said, I don't like to eat while I'm seeing patients. I would prefer to just see all my patients, get home, take all this stuff off, shower, and then get me something to eat, or pick me up something on my way home and just eat it at home, because I don't like touching my mouth and stuff like that. You know, germs, COVID, you know, I don't want to get sick. So I'm parking, and then finish this patient so we can see the last one and go start charting. See you later. Okay, so it is now 1:47. We're sitting outside the patient's home, patient number 4. We're headed to go see the last patient of the day, be patient number 5. They are about 19 minutes away from here, so about 11 miles, and it's actually going back towards where I live. So that will work out perfectly. See that patient, and then from there I will go home and begin charting. Yay. So that's about the typical amount of time that I spend with my patients. And it can be longer or shorter depending on what you have to do for the patient. Start of care is always going to take a longer time. Resumption of care takes a longer time. And depending on what kind of wound care, or if you have to do a specific skill once you get there, can take longer amount of time once you're in the patient's home. I just noticed today I'm looking rushed. I didn't put any makeup on this morning. My eyebrows on. Okay, but anyway. So if you are a home health nurse, what's your normal routine? How do you normally see all your patients? Do you chart in the home? How do you do it? Okay, let me go so I can go finish this last patient and I'll be back. All right, so we're here. Last stop of the day. So recap, this is my 5th patient, so it's gonna be 5 patients today. We started at around, I left home around 8:50 because my first patient was at 9:30. It is now 2:08. I'm supposed to meet with this patient between 2 and 2:30. So I'm here now to go in and visit this patient. This should be another quick visit, in and out, 30 minutes or less. Vital signs, teaching, things of that nature, unless the patient has some new concerns, new medications, or anything like that. So I'm going to go in. Let me suit up, clean up, and go in and see the patient, and I'll be back. All right, Vibe Tribe. It is, what time is it? 3:20. Woo! So that means I am officially finished with my work day. I just finished my last patient. It really didn't take that long. I just had to, I chatted with one of my co-workers for a minute regarding her care to see where, what the plan is for tomorrow. So now technically I'm going to lunch. So from about 3:30 to 4:30, that'll be my lunch, and then 5 o'clock I'm just going to clock out for the day, and then documentation is going to be the rest. I'll document when I get home. So that concludes a day in the life of a home health nurse. If you have any questions, be sure to just comment down below and let me know what your interests are regarding the nursing field or healthcare field in general. For me, I enjoy doing home health because I like being mobile. I don't like being cooped up in an office all day. At least with this, you kind of make your own schedule once you call the patients and, you know, decide what time or when they want to be seen. Kind of build your day around that. So that is why I enjoy home health. But the only thing I will let you know, if you decide to go on home health, there's a lot of paperwork. I mean, like with any healthcare field, if you didn't document, it didn't happen. So you have to chart, and good charting is going to be the key to a successful career in any healthcare field. So with that, I am going to head out and try to find me something to eat and go home, and I'll see you next time. Toodles. All right, vibers. So I have made it home. I'm about to kick off these shoes at the door. Walk into my office, drop off my stuff, because I have to do some charting. Don't pay attention to my office because I have jewelry stuff everywhere that I'm making. You want to see? Yay! So I'm over here making jewelry and all that kind of stuff as well. So I'm home. I'm about to hop in the shower, and I did not stop and get anything to eat. So it's 3:56, basically 4. I'm gonna go in the kitchen and probably cook salmon tonight. I don't know. I think that sounds good. So I'm gonna cook a little salmon tonight, and I don't know what I'm cooking with it. I'll figure it out later. So thanks for following me. So thanks for following me on my day in the life of a home health nurse. So let me go get off this so I can get in the shower. See y'all next time. Stay blessed and baby dust.